I, 52 female, have 3 sons, ages ranging from young teens to 20. My oldest son, 20, has a girlfriend, 19, who often hangs around our house. It's a really small house and doesn't have a lot of space. She's a nice girl, but gets on my nerves sometimes because she's always over. She's not right for my son either. Our tap water has a weird aftertaste, so I order gallon water bottles and use them to refill a big glass bowl with a tap. It's not cheap to get water and other groceries delivered, so I tell my sons, husband, and girlfriend to be courteous of the other people who live here and not use up the water, as it runs out fast in our big household. Yesterday, I caught her filling up her big metal water bottle with the jug water, and I calmly told her that other people live here too, and she shouldn't hog the water all to herself. She was rather short with me and said something like, "Actually, this water bottle's big enough to hold all the water someone should be drinking in a day. I'm not hogging water. I'm just trying to stay hydrated." I found her tone to be disrespectful and ordered her to leave. She scoffed and went back to my son's room. That's when I got frustrated. I opened their door and told her she had to leave. My son got really angry at me and told me that his girlfriend didn't do anything wrong and asked why it's a crime for her to drink water. I explained that I ordered this water for our family to use, not leeches who hang around all day, rent-free. My son's girlfriend got a little teary-eyed and left the room and out the front door without saying anything. My son told me that I was a major idiot and should have just minded my business. I think she's just wasteful and a brat. Am I the idiot? There isn't really a difference between fills up the bottle once with enough water for the day and drinks the same amount of water, 1 cup at a time. Bottled water does cost money, but if that's a problem, asking her to contribute money would be a more logical first step. You are the idiot for pretending this is about water when it's not. Also, get a Brita filter if buying water in this insane way is too much trouble and you have to act like you're rationing for a war. You are the idiot. You kicked an adult out of your home for drinking water. It's a weird power trip to deny someone hydration. You choose to have the source of water. Or, crazy idea here, she could have brought her bottle already filled from her home instead of using resources in a house she doesn't actually live in. You're right, it's not about the water. It's about the attitude. OP tried being polite, and she got attitude in return. Then the girl doubled down with even more attitude when the owner of the house asked her to leave. The girl seems to be forgetting that she doesn't live in this house and shouldn't treat it as her own. OP's not the idiot. It's not wasteful for her to pour herself a glass or a bottle of water. It's just that OP doesn't like her and doesn't want her using it. I sense a future nightmare mother-in-law from this woman. I really doubt the girlfriend specifically is the problem. OP, if you don't want her over at your house, or you want to be compensated for the extra water, have that be the issue that you take up with your son, not with her, and address it separately. I think you missed the point. The water was the tip of the iceberg. And why does OP owe his adult son's girlfriend one single thing? He's not paying for it. OP isn't. So can I come to your house and eat all your food and drinks, then act indignant if you don't like it? The girlfriend is the idiot for not respecting OP's asking her to leave. Also, if anyone is a leech, it's going to be OP's son. He's responsible for his guest. Update. Am I the idiot for blowing up on my son's girlfriend? Thanks for all the comments. I've spoken to my son about this issue, and you all made me realize it's deeper than just the water. I think she reacted that way when I initially told her off for filling up the bottle because, and my son helped me realize this too, I was never really nice to her to begin with in the course of their 3-year relationship. In my defense, she's only started hanging out around our house a lot about 6 months ago because she got a license. We called her on the phone this morning, and I apologized for my reaction to the bottle. I explained that I didn't mean to make her feel bad about the water. It really wasn't that big of a deal, and I felt silly for making it a big deal. She apologized for having an attitude and explained how she could feel a little defensive around me sometimes. I told her and my son that I would work on my attitude. My husband still thinks that she's being disrespectful, but I explained that I was the reason she felt the need to act that way in the first place. It's not my choice who my son decides to date, and I need to respect his choice. I think she's a sweet girl, and I feel horrible for how I treated her. Again, thank you to everyone for making me realize my mistake. P.S. I have looked into purchasing a Brita pitcher and to see if that's more cost-effective. My son's girlfriend now brings water from home, although I didn't tell her to do that. I, 34 female, and my husband, 33, hosted a dinner for both of our families on Saturday. My sister Ava, 30, and my brother-in-law, John, 32, have never gotten along. They have different opinions and different worldviews as a whole. I won't go into specifics about their views because I don't want people to judge based on who they agree with politically. The evening before dinner, I sent a message on the family group chat asking people not to discuss politics over dinner as it made everyone awkward. Everyone agreed, and everything seemed to be going fine when everyone arrived. John and Ava spoke briefly. It was a little uncomfortable, but everyone was civil. About halfway into the evening, I left with my husband to go and grab everyone some more drinks, and we came back to find the table in chaos. Ava and John were both yelling at each other and hurling insults. I asked what had happened, and my other brother-in-law explained that they'd started arguing again. Ava and John both said that wasn't true, and Ava said that John was being a misogynistic pig. Just to clarify, he hadn't actually said anything misogynistic about her. He had just made a comment she disagreed with. I said I didn't care if he was misogynistic. All I cared about was having a regular dinner without them arguing. I told them they could shut up and keep their opinions to themselves, or leave. Ava left, and John stayed for the rest of an awkward dinner. Both of them are angry with me and are insisting they're in the right. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Simply because you don't want to state what brother-in-law actually said. I'm pretty sure it was misogynistic, and you just don't want to risk being wrong. Your sister should not have to sit there and listen to offensive views about her gender. If anyone should have been kicked out, it should be your brother-in-law. And if I were your sister, I'd be cutting you off because you keep making your home unsafe. Exactly. John broke the rules, and you didn't kick him out. You don't have to spell out who you agree with. It's pretty clear. You can choose to be a carpet for your brother-in-law to wipe his feet on, but don't expect your sister to do the same. Kudos to your sister for standing up for women and not dealing with misogyny. You should use her as an inspiration to change and challenge your own views. Last month, my girlfriend and her kindergarten-age son moved in with me. I have 4 sons, ages 27 to a young teen, and a daughter, teen. My house has 5 bedrooms, 3 for the kids upstairs and a bedroom in the basement. I originally built a bedroom in the basement for my eldest son, and then when he moved out, it went to my next oldest. My 19-year-old son is now in his sophomore year of college in a different state. Originally, when he left for college, my teen son begged for his brother's room, but I told him no. All the kids had their own rooms upstairs, and I wanted my son to still have a space to come back to. He ended up living with me for almost all of last summer, as he was working nearby and was still dating his high school girlfriend. My girlfriend and I have been dating for around 1.5 years. She's a single mom and hasn't received child support from her son's father. She's been struggling financially for as long as I've known her, and she refuses whenever I try to help her financially. Recently, I convinced her to move in with me so she could achieve her goal of going back to college. To accommodate her son, I gave my teen son the basement bedroom and gave his room to my girlfriend's son. I let my 19-year-old know in advance I was doing this and bought a pull-out couch for the den in the basement so that it could be his space whenever he wanted to stay at home. I knew my son was upset because the basement has been his space for so long and he still visits home regularly. As I was making over a bedroom for the stepson, I decided to give all the bedrooms a makeover, as it had been a while. All the kids got new paint, some got new furniture, and some other decorative type things. My daughter sent him video and pics of some of the rooms, and he replied back with something super passive-aggressive about me only giving the rooms a makeover now that he's moved out and my girlfriend's moved in. I gave him a call to talk to him because I didn't understand why he was so upset. He said hurtful things about my girlfriend when he had previously liked her and told me it felt like I was pushing him out of the house for good. I tried to reason with him, but he wouldn't listen. Am I the idiot? He lives most of the year in a different state for college and is an adult. Is it wrong for me to give away his bedroom? As someone who grew up in a shoebox of a house, always shared a bedroom, and shifted rooms more than once, I say, not the idiot. You're making room and trying to accommodate the kids living in the home full time. Sure, it sucks for your kid in college, but heck, he still has a home to come back to. You aren't kicking him out on the street. You are the idiot. You didn't let our teen son have the basement room, despite begging, but are letting the stepkid have his own room and give the teen what he wants because of it, not because he asked. He probably has yet to complain as he's getting what he originally wanted, the basement, but he'll see and probably feel it too. This will, to all of your children, make it sound like you're prioritizing her kid over your own, which you are. Yeah, bam, you gave it up for your girlfriend's kid. You've done something for the new kid that you didn't do for yours. This will upset all of them. They aren't saying anything as they've got upgrades, whereas the 19-year-old, who's been downgraded and feels slighted, has nothing to lose by complaining. Yeah, this is the problem. The 19-year-old one is at school and doesn't have a permanent home. He thought of dad's as his home. Most kids spend time after college at home trying to land a good job or saving enough to find a place to live. He no longer has that option. In addition, OP's only been dating her for like a year and a half. Moving families in together at this point is really an aggressive timeline, and it sounds like the decision has been made partially due to financial reasons, which is never a good reason to make this level of change that will have such a huge impact on so many lives. I, female 28, and my husband 32, have been married for 7 years and have a young grammar school-age son. I like to dress in clothes that make me feel beautiful and confident, such as short dresses, skirts, stylish tops, etc. My husband says he doesn't care about what I wear, but he always makes passive-aggressive comments about how I'm drawing attention or provoking other men. He also gets uncomfortable when I hang out with my friends, a mixed group of men and women. He says he trusts me but not my friends and is afraid they might try something with me. Sometimes he calls or messages me when I'm out, asking where I am, who I'm with, and when I'll be back. He says he's only concerned about my safety, but I feel he's controlling and jealous. I've tried talking to him about this, but he says I should be more respectful to him and our marriage and stop acting like a single woman. He says I'm the woman of his life and he doesn't want to lose me. I love my husband, but I also love my freedom. I don't want to change my identity or how I express myself because of him. I'm not doing anything wrong or disrespectful. I just want to be happy and enjoy life. I don't want to hurt him, but I also don't want to feel suffocated by him. Am I the idiot? Edit. Unfortunately, I think he's considering a separation. He hasn't said anything, but I believe he no longer considers us compatible. Not the idiot. Your husband has some very misogynistic and irrational ideas. To begin with, wearing ugly clothes and constantly informing him about your location will not make you safer. His beliefs are not only misogynistic, but also factually wrong. Moreover, attempting to keep you away from friends is textbook abusive behavior. Getting married does not make you his property, yet here he is, policing your appearance, your free time, and even your choice of friends. Provoking other men to do what exactly? And does he get provoked by random women? If so, what does it make him do? You'll never be able to resolve this problem when he constantly lies about his motivations for snotty comments and controlling behavior. OP, I'm also concerned that your partner may be tracking you. I would check to ensure there isn't tracking software hidden on your phone or car. I think he's considering a separation. I believe he no longer considers us compatible. Possibly it's a projection. He thinks you're trying to cheat because that's what he's doing. He thinks your friends aren't trustworthy because he isn't trustworthy. He thinks you're not compatible because he's already found someone else. I'm sorry, OP. My husband and I have 3 biological children together. He adopted my child from a prior relationship, and I'm a stepmother to his adult child. My husband was divorced from my stepdaughter's mom. She was 8 when my husband and I became serious, and my son was still a baby. But not long after, my stepdaughter's mom died. My husband and I had talked about marrying before she died, and we delayed it for a couple of years to allow my stepdaughter time to grieve and adjust to the changes in her life. This was with the help of therapy, of course. We knew a child who lost someone so close would need extra help. Now my stepdaughter's 20, my son is a tween, and our children together are preschool to young grammar school age. So what happened here is my stepdaughter and her boyfriend recently moved into a house together. She asked for help setting up their dining room, and we all went over to help her. Her house is covered in photos. The landing had them, the living room, the kitchen, etc. There was not a single photo of her siblings in the house, or me, but it was not seeing one of the kids that led to this. She had her parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, her cousins, and friends. But there was no sign of the kids anywhere. All of the photos with her dad were older ones from before we met. My kids noticed because they were excited to look around her house. I couldn't help but notice because her boyfriend had so many of his siblings, and because there were some, that felt like deliberate choices to make sure she used photos that didn't contain her siblings, including extended family photos from years ago with my husband's side that were taken before her dad and I met. And we know she has photos with her siblings. I always knew she wasn't super crazy about her siblings. I always hoped as she got older, she would feel love for them. But it feels like she doesn't think of them as family or special enough to be included. The 3 kids who noticed were hurt. My husband tried to assure them it was likely an oversight on her part and called her the next day to ask. She said she only wanted photos with people she considered family and didn't consider us family. We were all invited to her housewarming party, but the kids didn't want to go. My husband and in-laws were shocked and said they had to go, of course. I argued that they didn't and told them I would stay home with them. They argued back to me that the kids needed to be there. I said they didn't need to be there, and I wouldn't force them to go when they already felt hurt. My husband and in-laws think I'm unreasonable. Am I the idiot? You're not the idiot to let your kids choose to stay home. And yay for not raising hypocrites, OP. Sorry that your husband and in-laws still think appearances matter more than kindness and inclusion. I'm sure that's not what your husband wants to hear, but you can't force a relationship. Yep, absolutely this. Stepdaughter demonstrated her utter disregard for her half-siblings and OP and doubled down by explaining that they aren't family. And the half-siblings have chosen to demonstrate their disappointment and hurt by boycotting stepdaughter's party. OP wishes to join them. Fair enough. Everyone's entitled to feel their feelings. But honesty forbids anyone, including Daddy, from demanding that 4 people agree to attend a command performance just because someone momentarily wants to play happy family. That ship sailed. Can you imagine what she might say when asked who the kids are at the party? If she doesn't consider them family, she likely hasn't mentioned her siblings to anyone, or even that she has a stepmother. Had the kids gone to the housewarming party, they might have been further battered by their sister's rudeness. Not the idiot. You're just protecting your kids. She already said loud and clear that you're not her family. So what's left to be said?